So there's a lot of information was delivered just then, and some good advice is to have good foundational people in your business that support your business, lawyers, accountants, and debt consolidators as well. So you know, having that right advice from trusted advisors is always good. So lunches have been served. Everyone's just about finished. So we're going to move on to our golden opportunities section to maximise business support. I'll introduce Cheryl. So Cheryl's a Hunter-based business mentor, educator and consultant. She has owned and operated 4 successful businesses over the past 25 years and understands the challenges of starting, growing an existing business. And as an educator, she has supported and coached hundreds of business owners, freelancers, consultants, artists, entrepreneurs across Australia for the past 5 years. Cheryl served as a Hunter Entrepreneurship Facilitator, a role with the aim to inspire, educate, mentor and connect future entrepreneurs to start or build a sustainable business. This program is funded by the Australian Government and services are provided at no cost to eligible participants. Cheryl is committed to helping the small business owners and entrepreneurs unlock their potential, develop an entrepreneurial mindset and celebrate the business of their dreams. In this session, Cheryl will be identifying many resources and funding opportunities, that's a carton of beer, whoever that was, and available to support SMEs, including government and private programs. Cheryl, would you like to join me? Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me here today. I was actually speaking with Shane and Michael a couple of months ago, and we were talking about small business and I suppose some of the challenges that have been going on in small businesses. And one of the things that we talked about was the fact that there are a lot of support mechanisms out there that I don't think many small businesses are aware of, because we all sort of tend to work a little bit in silos, especially if you're working within a government environment. So the left hand may not know what the right hand's doing. So today I would like to probably just give you a bit of an overview about some of those services and some of those opportunities that are out there that could support your business in some way or form. And before I start, I'd like to acknowledge the Wonnarua people, traditional custodians of the land in which we meet today, and pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend my respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today as well. So let's, which way do I go? I always do this wrong. Here you go. So I'm just going to tell you just a little bit about our program first, because it is one of the support mechanisms that are out there for small business. And my program that I run is called the Hunter Futurepreneurs, and we're very dedicated to helping anybody who wants to start up their own business. Our services, as Shane said, are free. They are funded by the Commonwealth Government. And our role really is to create awareness about entrepreneurism, about developing an entrepreneur mindset, and also helping anybody who wants to start their business and hold their hand on that journey. Some of the things that Brad and Emma were obviously, saying before are things that we talk about and discuss with people every day. And there's so many, as a small business owner, if you're starting your own business, there are so many challenges that you're going to face, as we all know, or majority of us here being small business owners. And if you've got some support out there, it just makes life a little bit easier. So our program is really about providing that. So I work primarily with startups. However, as a result of COVID, we were also enabled us to work with anybody who had to pivot, during that COVID period. So we could also help people who are currently in business as well. So the sorts of things that we do are one-on-one mentoring sessions. So somebody will come and see me, we'll talk about whatever their issues are. I will make a judgment or provide some generalized advice, or potentially connect them. And I think connection is really important in small business. As a small business owner, the more you know about what's going on in your area and connecting with people who can help you can be really, really valuable. So we help you make those connections. So that could be connections in government, It could be connections with other providers out there. It could be connections just knowing, I suppose, what services are out there. The other area that we do work in is where there potentially is funding and grants for small business. Now, I'm not going to do the grant for you, but I can certainly help you identify what grants might be able to help you in your business. And I will talk about some of those today. We do also do trainings and things like that, which are usually online, and if you have a look at our website, you'll find all of those. So anything to do with business challenges, we might do lunch and learn trainings, which are really good fun. So today, I'm going to really be talking about some of the general business advice, free general business advice that's out there, some employment opportunity or employers skills development opportunity, business growth opportunities, and also, as I said, those grants and funding. I can't see that, it's too far away, so I've got my notes here. Okay, so the first one I'd really like to give you a little bit of information about. I don't know if anybody's been out and had a look at some business.newsouthwales.gov.au. It's an amazing, I suppose, resource. It has some really great things on it about what is actually available to small businesses as far as support mechanisms and funding opportunities. And one I'd like to talk to you about is Business Connect. Has anybody ever used Business Connect? Yep, great. Okay, a couple of people have. So Business Connect is a state government, so we're talking about state government opportunities here, and basically it will enable any business owner access to advisors. And there are 15 amazing advisors across the Hunter region who all have different specialities. And if you're running a business and you're being challenged by something, or you're looking at, trying to develop a new structure within your business, or having marketing issues, whatever it might be, they could be a first port of contact for you to get a little bit of advice for. They offer you up to 60. It used to only be 4 hours, but now they're offering up to 60 hours free support. Now that support is advice. It can also be access to their webinars. There are hundreds of webinars on there. They're great, and they're all sort of, there's different industry type webinars. So it's, things like how to start up a business, if you want to get into the NDIS, how to do that, what, anything around taxation and all sorts of different things like that. So, and the webinars are like an hour, so they're easy to access. They also run a lot of events, different types of events that you can go to that could also, help and educate you in different areas. And they have a resources guide or an online portal that has like a resources kit with all different types of resources, like business plans and marketing plans, and just bits and pieces that as a small business owner you might need. The company locally that runs the Business Connect program is the Business Centre. They're in Newcastle, and they look after the whole region. And there's also part of the program is also run through the Curry Hub as well. Both really, they're there to help you in any way or form. Boosting Business Innovation Program. Now, this is a state program which specifically has around about $18 million that's available in advice, research facilities, through the universities, and also through CSIRO. So if you're an organisation that potentially has an idea that you would like to commercialise, but you need to do some research on that, or you need some technical capacity to help you, whether it be technical expertise or specialist equipment or something like that, this is an option where you can have a chat to these guys and they can provide support in that area. Newcastle University is and CSIRO locally here through Oz Industry as well are the I suppose the people who look after that. But it's certainly a great program. They have a part of that is a thing called tech vouchers, and tech vouchers enable you to actually work with the university or the CSIRO in that area, and they will provide you with a grant up to $15,000 in matched funds to do any of that type of research. Resources for the region may not fit in this particular environment unless you're sort of out in the Hunter, Upper Hunter or Hunter region, but that's really for, once again, some funding and some opportunity for support and advice on any regional areas that are affected by mining. It's actually a grant and which is opened right now, and it closes on July the 12th. And that really is, it's a part of the Regional Growth Fund, which means that if you were, in an area, if your business is in an area that has any affected mines and you are looking at potentially increasing your business or improving infrastructure around your business, then that's certainly an opportunity there. Business Concierge. Business Concierge is an interesting program that's run by the state, New South Wales as well, and that is a program that's really there for you to access any information that you might need about licenses, about anything to do with councils, with their their requirements, who you need to speak to about any of those sort of practical applying for grants, who might be able to help you with understanding the local regulations, DAs, all of that sort of thing. All you need to do is ring up New South Wales, I think it's New South Wales Services, ask for the Business Concierge, and any questions that you have around those areas, they can certainly help you in. They do have, I don't know if your accountant sent it to you, but he or she should have, they do have a small business grant at the moment where you can access up to $1,500 in any fees that you might have to pay to Business New South Wales Service New South Wales. So any licensing fees or anything like that, registrations, all of that sort of thing. So all you need to do is register for that, and if you're paying any of those fees, you can claim them back. So that's a nice thing. The other area that is fairly new to the Hunter region and across the New South Wales are skills brokers. Has anybody heard of the skills brokers that are out there? Yep, of course. So skills brokers. And I really think that this is a great opportunity for any organisation that wants to engage with new staff and potentially look at ways to fund maybe whether training for those staff or staff that you currently have that need upskilling. These skills brokers are local people who will help you locate new staff who are trained and ready to fill any particular roles that you might have. They also find ways to upskill your existing staff or newly employed staff who might need training. And if you are looking at any deployment of existing staff who have been stood down or at risk of being stood down, they can help you, with that process of if they're facing retrenchment, helping them through that process. Which, as we said, sometimes businesses do have to stand people down, and as a business, to me, it's part of your responsibility to know how you can best help that person. And if you can do that through a skills broker where they can retrain and help that person find a new job, then I think that's a really fantastic service. Now, of course, all of these services that we've spoken about at this point are all free, so it can be a great, they can be certainly a great support. Then we have the federal programs that are out there. Now, with the federal programs, if you went to business.gov.au and you are looking for a grant, or if you're looking for any help or assistance, they've got a very clever little website now, which enables you to type in your postcode, and all you need to do is to identify what sort of assistance you need, and the website will direct you to all of the support mechanisms that are out there, which is really great. So if I'm looking for grants, I could type in my postcode and I will say I want grants, and it will come up with all the places that you can go looking for grants. If I'm looking for, could be staff, hiring new staff, it will take me to where I can get information there. So there's some really great accessibility to different programs through that website. Now, Entrepreneurship facilitators, which is me, and I've sort of explained to you what I do, but there are 23 of us across Australia. So if you do have other businesses in different areas across Australia, there are people who can help you potentially in every state, which is really fantastic. The other key thing, and I'm going to give us a little plug here because I think it's important, the other key thing that we like to do is work with young people. Any young person who wants to develop that entrepreneurial mindset or who wants to get into some business idea, that's very key for us. It's very key for me. I'm very, very passionate about getting young people engaged in this space because the more entrepreneurs we have, the more opportunities we have for further employment and greater economy and growth. So I'm a bit passionate about that. The Entrepreneurs Program. Now this is for those organisations who have been around for at least 3 years, this isn't for everybody. It's for organisations who are trying to scale quite dramatically or who are trying to commercialise a new product. And there's up to, I think in most cases, there's up to about $3 million in those sorts of grants available. But there are obviously criteria around that. The government certainly has some, I suppose, pet areas that they like to work in that space, and that's usually in something that is scalable from a national or international perspective. And those sorts of things could be in health, in technology, construction, manufacturing, clean energy, all of that sort of thing. But if you were an organisation that you have an idea that you wanted to explore further and potentially identify whether that idea has merit, they will work with you. You'll have incredibly successful and amazing people in that space who really know this space very well, that commercialisation space very, very well, and they will work with you and hold your hand for over the whole period of the contract because they're responsible for you once that you get a grant. So they're really amazing people. So if you are in that space, certainly have a look at that. Oz Industry have some amazing programs, so check those out. Once again, Oz Industry is more about export and support around exporting. They can connect you to amazing people. They can put you in front of the right people. They can get introductions, etc. But they can also provide some funding if you are looking at exporting your product to other countries. Look, we have a lot happening in the Hunter region around the defence industry, and I don't know if any of you have been to any of the defence breakfasts and lunches and things like that, but the defence industry have got some huge opportunities coming to the Hunter region. And as organisations, as small businesses, a lot of people with, sort of feel a little bit intimidated by trying to get into the defence and understand what those contracts are all about and how to engage in that area. And certainly there is a new advisory supports program out there that will help you. So if there's some area in defence that you would like to explore, definitely you can have a chat to the Centre for Defence Industry Capability Defence Business Advisors. They're there to, I suppose, guide you through that defence process, how you get into the procurement, chain, and also how to manage potentially those contracts. The other program that's available from a federal level is Australian Small Business Advisory Services, and they focus in on 4 areas, and only 2 are coming to mind right now, but the 2 I think are pretty important anyway. One is financial, and the other is digital. And if you check out the website, I'm sure you'll find the rest. But the Australian Small Business Advisory Services, once again, they can give you X amount of hours. So if you're a company or a small business that is really struggling in getting your social media and your digital marketing and all of that up to speed, then they can help you, through that process. They will look at your website, they'll give you some advice. I mean, once again, they're not going to do the work for you, but they can certainly help you and connect you to the right sort of people to potentially, do that work if you need to. But that's another free service, which is really great. And obviously, a lot of our clients that I have are all startups. They don't have any money. They're bootstrapping everything that they're doing. So I certainly refer our clients to that particular program, and we're getting some really great results of at least getting people up and running with their digital presence. One that's not on there, and I didn't have it on there originally because it was potentially for only new startups, but for those who may have even gone through the program, but there's also the NICE program. Does anybody know the NICE program? Yeah, few. Yeah. So the NICE program is a program that was predominantly for anybody who wanted to start up a business and needed those underpinning business skills, which was around a Certificate 3 or a Certificate 4 in new business, basically. So they would provide a person with those skills through a training program. And then what they would do is they would mentor a person for a 12-month period around the development of their business. NICE came about as a result of, it was for unemployed people originally, to help them and encourage them into starting their own business, because if you were unemployed, you would be able to stay on your unemployment benefits or a new benefit, which was called the NICE benefit, and you could start your own business. So you were still getting some money coming in. And as we know, if you're trying to start a business, it's very difficult if you don't have, it's going to be up and down and you don't have any money. So for those who are unemployed, they could still stay on benefits and they could start their own business and have the mentoring. But as a result of COVID, NICE is also open to businesses as well, who are potentially struggling as a result of COVID or have had some adverse effect on them as a result of COVID. So once again, it's just a matter of, I will give Shane and Michael a list of all of these things with all of the links, so you'll get an email from them with all of that. So if you need to check any of that out, please do. So a couple of the other programs that are out there, so obviously that's us, the Hunter Entrepreneurs, the Hub, which is in Curry, which can provide you with trainings and around digital media, Services New South Wales, Business Connect. The other one that I have here is the Indigenous Business Australia. So Indigenous Business Australia has quite a substantial amount of funding for anybody who is Indigenous who is looking to start up a business, and they also have some really great support mechanisms there as well. And the other one there is TAFE, and the reason that I've put TAFE there is because for women in business who would like to expand their knowledge and their business skills, there are currently a lot of free training programs that are online that you can access to help you develop your business skills. So when if you go out searching and you look for some of this training, I mean, some of it is really quite amazing and can be incredibly beneficial because, as we all know, we don't wake up when we're a business owner and know everything. We don't know everything about finance. We don't know everything about marketing. And just having access to these programs can certainly help you in your development of your business. So where do you find grants and things like that? I personally subscribe to all of the channels where you can find a grant. And those channels are something like the Community Grants Hub, obviously business.gov.au, you can find all of the grants available there. Grant Connect is a really great one if you want to find different grants that are out there. That basically, Grant Connect is basically all of the grants across Australia. Oz Industry often has grants there. The other place where you can certainly access information about grants and also development of grants, writing grants and all of that sort of thing is through the Australian Tax Office. By the way, they also have some really great videos and webinars on tax and tax implications as well, which you know, a little bit boring for some of us, but, you know, if you want to learn that sort of thing, it's a great place. It's a really good space to start. So there's some of the places where you can find these grants. There is also another one there, which is that little Australian there, which is Global New South Wales, and that is for anybody who wants to export, and they can they have grants through Global New South Wales as well. So there are, as I said, personally what I do is when I'm looking at opportunities, I look at them from a number of angles. For our business, we've obviously got grants that are available to us from a state and a federal level, but you've also got grants on a local level as well. And I know Maitland and Newcastle, the Hunter region, they have lots of little small grants. Now, some people might say, oh, you know, I don't want to go for them because they're only small. But the great thing about some of those grants, especially for newer businesses, is that it gives you exposure, and it also helps you, you know, get into that space of how to write grants, because they're usually a lot easier to write. But I would definitely sign up to whatever's happening at a local level. The other thing I say to people that, you know, when I'm speaking to people who are starting up their own business is, whilst we're looking at, you know, running a business, and we say, well, you know, you've focused a lot on marketing and making sure that, you know, you've got your marketing mix right, and you're doing all the things that you need to do. A lot of small business owners don't look at these sorts of opportunities, or don't know what's going on in their local area, their local LGA. They don't read the economic development strategy. They don't look at those sorts of things, which could have a huge impact on your business. You know, just examples like, if I'm a builder and I know that, I just heard the other day that there's going to be 1,000 new homes, you know, in the Glendale area. Well, that can have a huge impact on my business. So I urge people, you know, in that space to have a think about, look at what's going on in your LGA, have a read of those economic strategies. Even the community strategy sometimes might relate to your business. You know, things like one of the programs, as I said, I'm really very passionate about youth. And I will always look at what is each council doing in youth. How can I connect into that council and what they're doing, and potentially have programs that I can run that will enable youth to meet whatever their objectives are. So have a look at what's locally available to you. The next thing that I just wanted to make people aware of, because once again, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to read that, but once again, it's an important component that is here in a support mechanism that's here in the Hunter region, and it's the Local Jobs Program. And a few of you who are here may have heard about the Local Jobs Program, but the Local Jobs Program is really about linking local people to local jobs. There's a whole lot of support mechanisms under there. And those support mechanisms, we actually have Carla, who's the employment facilitator here today, who is responsible for the Local Jobs Program, and she could probably speak to it a lot better, because I can't read any of that. So would you like to just very quickly come up and speak to that? Because I'm looking at it saying, I can't see that.
Nothing like being on the spot.
No, exactly.
Thanks. So the Local Jobs program, like Cheryl mentioned, is about exactly that. And what we do is bring in all of the other great programs that are available to you as businesses to ensure that we're providing the solution that is that gap in the middle there. So we essentially are trying to build the bridge between what is missing between people that are looking for jobs and the jobs that are available within our region. So you can see, and apologies that I've made that quite small, there are a lot of great programs that we draw on. So there are a lot of employment service providers in the room today. If I can just get you to put your hands up for me. The employment service providers in the room are essentially our right-hand people that we utilise to bring the people to the jobs that are available, and we really lean on them for their expertise and the other great funding that they have available. We also lean on lots of the other great initiatives that Cheryl's mentioned today, like the Skills Broker initiative from the state government, the Boosting Apprenticeship Scheme, other employment services like Parents Next and Transition to Work. the NICE program that Cheryl has mentioned it as well. And for you as businesses, how we'd like you to be involved is we don't want to tell you what you need. You're a business and you understand what you need better than anyone else. So we want you to come to our table and tell us what your workforce issues are and how we can actually all work together in bridging that gap between people and jobs in our region.
Thank you. Yeah, so I suppose if, as a business owner, when you have to, we all know the costs of hiring people and also the, I suppose, the complexities around that. And often, you might be able to train somebody in something and you can get some funding for that training. But sometimes what happens is there's that gap, and you might have an opportunity for people, but because there's that gap and there's no funding for it, that's, I suppose, where we could look at the local jobs program and how that could help you. So that program is a great program for anybody who is looking at expanding. And if you are looking at expanding, please, let Carla know, because she can certainly pull all of the opportunities together, because there's lots of different funding models, as we saw in the budget. There's lots of different funding out there, and Carla is the person who could bring all of that together and bring all the right people to the table so that you could meet your business growth objectives, and that's really what her role is. Also, there are opportunities, as Carla said, that if you do have needs, specific needs, or there are gaps that you see that you just can't find people that have those particular skills. This is the lady that you really need to talk to, because she can potentially have that happening. So, we've just got a little example here of a program that Carla was involved in that did get some funding. And Carla, you might have to talk to this. Sorry, I forgot about that.
So this is actually a really great program, and I've been talking about it all week and the great success of it, so it's really great to be able to tell all of you about it. This program is run by Smart Training and Consulting, and it was funded under the Local Recovery Fund, so there was no other funding that really fit this need. And what the program is it's overcoming the I guess, invisible wall that we found in the Cessnock LGA between our local people working in our vineyards, essentially. So what it is it's 6 weeks training, and it's not accredited training, it's purely skill-based. So I was there on Tuesday with our local jobs and skills task force, and while we were holding our meeting, the students were learning to pour beers. They were walking up and down the stairs with trays of marbles so that they could practice that when they carry a tray of champagne flutes at Peterson's house, that they're going to be able to do that without spilling them. They've done lots of great things. They made us some coffees, and I can comment the coffee was fantastic, so they're doing a really good job. And what that will do is they will do this 6-week skill-based training, and then they will do 30 hours work experience in a local business. So it's a great opportunity for employers in the region to actually see these people work and to get a feel for that person in their business and how they work as part of a team. There has been an incredible flow on of skills that we have seen throughout the program that aren't necessarily written into it. So, and I'm sure Kylie from Smart Training will not love me for sharing this, but there was a disagreement between 2 of the job seekers on the first day, and 2 days later those job seekers walked in together, and they've been carpooling ever since. So they've actually learnt to work as part of a team and resolve their conflicts in the workplace and things like that, just as a result of doing this training. So essentially, at the core of it, it will give 30 local people in the Cessnock LGA jobs at the end of it with local businesses. And that's what this program has really been about. The gap there has absolutely been that skill base and that getting those people in front of those employers in the region. So that's what the team at Smart Training and Consulting are doing as we speak at Cessnock Leagues Club. So there's been a lot of great media about it. I will endeavour to share something. We'll share a link as a result of today as well, so you can all see what it's all about. It's a fantastic program, and if you do want to talk more about it, I'm sure I can share, or Tina here has been the supporting employment service provider on the program, so Tina could absolutely share some information with you too.
Oh, good. Half my work's been done. Okay. So, look, as I said, I think that there are quite a few opportunities that small business owners aren't aware of, and really today we just wanted to make you aware of some of those ways that you might be able to integrate, or look at things that you might be able to integrate into your particular business. So really, that's all I have to say, and I'm certainly if anybody wants any information or anything like that, there's my details, but I will make sure that you do get a list of all of these different support mechanisms, and also some information that Carla can provide. And yes, thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No worries, thank you. So what we'll do is we'll send out a EDM with all the information from today. Also, due to our video sponsorship, give us probably a week or so and we'll have it up on our YouTube channel. So if you've missed anything, you can fast forward to stuff you want, or pause and take some detailed notes on the stuff that's really important to you. Firstly, I would like to thank our speakers today on behalf of the Maitland Business Chamber and all our members for giving up your time today and really sharing some really important information that I think a lot of us can take away from today. So this brings us to start spruiking our next event. All right, so we've got tickets are on sale. Our next event is going to be around recruitment training in today's world. So touching a bit on Carla, what she was talking about a minute ago. And our gold sponsor for the day is Recruit Personnel. So thank you, Camilla and Paul. They're both in the room. So great recruiters. So the tickets are on sale through our Humanitics, as they always are. Kate's gone. I assume that it'll be up online. If it's not today, it'll be in next. There she is, ready to go. So grab your tickets early because these things do sell out. Put it in perspective, this month we've sold 150 tickets over 2 events. So the business community are getting out, getting involved, and as a committee, we are super pleased that we're able to continue to add value to our members. So that next event next month is on the 24th of June. It's being held at the Maitland Jail Auditorium. So some may have been there before, some may not. Some are long-time residents and some have moved on. So anyway, we'll move on. Our gold sponsor once again is Recruit Personnel. Bronze sponsor is going to be Maywell Labour Force Solutions. Our guest speaker is going to be Camilla and Paul from Recruit Personnel, and Tiffany Waters, from Maywell Labour Force Solutions. So there'll be some gold to be taken away from that event. There are limited tickets available. It's 2-course lunch. There's a mailer and a link that's going out in the morning. And that is our next month's event. So, Mike, would you like to join me? So, our VP, Michael, he's been out to the Maitland Council
Visitor Economic Forum.
Can you have the Michael?
Thanks, Shane.
No worries.
On Tuesday, I had the privilege of being invited to the Maitland City Council's Visitor Economy Forum out at Tokal College. I'm not going to go into everything that was brought out there specifically, because we're endeavouring to obtain all the presentations from the different speakers, and we can share them with you if you email admin@maitlandbusiness.com.au. But what it did do was it brought about 100 attendees to the event, and I think what that really shows is that in-person events are still a thing that make people want to go to and understand that they can interact with other people face-to-face rather than Zoom and all that kind of stuff, and it was very successful. Agri-tourism was a big thing, and Tokal College was heavily involved in the presentation around agri-tourism and the growth of that sector to bring the visitors in to the region. The Maitland Council are about to launch digitally a new Make It Maitland campaign targeting couples and then also young families. And there's 2 different campaigns depending which way they want to, which pitch you want to listen to. That'll all be done digitally. And that was quite interesting. They're targeting the visitor economy from a 2 or 3 hour drive from the area. Maitland Council also advised that they're partnering with TripAdvisor for all those tourism type destination places, whether it be food and beverage, accommodation, agribusiness, farm stay, art galleries, all those kind of places that people will go to as visitors. And they're going to really try and ramp up the number of businesses and tourists that come here to actually write reviews and to actually respond to those reviews. That makes a big impact on the entire region. So they're going to partner with them, I think it's from middle of June for about a 3 or 4 month period. We had speakers from Destination New South Wales and another state government, not sure what the word is, area called Destination Sydney Surrounds and North. So that covers the entire of the Hunter region, Port Stephens, Upper Hunter and Lake Macquarie, Newcastle. And basically they're saying that there's a lot of information available through destinationnsw.com.au for a lot of people to be able to resource and become involved in. Probably one of the most enthralling parts of the presentation was from the Newcastle Airport with the announcement of their funding for their Grade E or Code E upgrade to their runway. Essentially that means that they've just got to strengthen the runway and widen the runway. It's plenty long enough to take all the international planes that they're talking about in the future. The widening is to reduce the dust from the extra wingspan, and the strengthening is to take the heavier planes. And what that's going to do is bring more people into the region, which we can all benefit from in business. And that was very interesting. Most of the work will be done at night, so therefore interruptions to flights as they are currently domestically, and are they still flying to New Zealand? I can't remember. I think so. Those won't be disrupted. It'll all happen after hours. With a completion date of sometime in early 2023, so it's going to happen and it's not that far away. We can bring some international travellers in. Different types of destinations they talked about, but again, that'll be on the presentations. If you ask us for them, we can certainly provide those to you. And yeah, that was about it. That was the main things that we covered on Tuesday, and it was a very, very informative half day, I guess. So thank you. Back to you, Shane.
Thanks, Mike, for the update. So there's lots of things happening in our region. I want to touch a little bit on what Mike was saying in around tourism, how it's becoming ever a possibility here in the Hunter. There's Upper Hunter. There was a venue that draws in lots of tourists from Sydney and north and into the area, that a small country town now has to decide, do we shut at 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon and not reopen until Monday, or do we serve the tourists that are coming in their droves? People want to do shopping, they want their coffees and stuff like that. So some other smaller businesses are capitalising on that, and they're bringing coffee vans, food vans in to cater for these businesses, these people, holiday and day trippers that the little town either can't cope with or just doesn't know how to cope with. So that's through some federal funding allowing these ventures to expand. So there's lots of opportunities in our region to capitalise on that thing. So it's really good news to hear. So it's going to bring us to our lucky door prize here at the moment. So early links. Who have we got for early links? Oh, there we go. Gavray. Well done. You've won yourself some wine. By the way, that comes in his and hers, red and white. Did we put that card in there already?
No, it's out.
Wow. Early links again. Melinda, well done. Congratulations. I would also like to thank Gay Adler from Rap to You once again for donating a prize for today. Once again, from the MBC committee and members, thank you very much for attending today. We generally hope that we're bringing value to our members every month with our events. If you've enjoyed yourself, let your friends know, your colleagues and business partners to get along to our next one. We're trying to always build more. If you've got some ideas, got some people you want to hear from, or you know, you're looking for some information, please reach out to us. We're here to help you, and we want to give back to the community and you know, support the business leaders of our area. So once again, thank you very much for attending, and we look forward to seeing you next month.